Well, let's go straight to the phone lines because my good friend in the frozen tundra, who probably would take exception with the fact that I said that it's almost spring, Mike Shoesmith, he is an author. He is a syndicated blogger and columnist for the P.P. Simmons News and Ministry Network. He also does syndicated talk radio interviews, and he is the executive director of the P.P. Simmons News and Ministry Network and a regular correspondent right here on Freedom Friday for years. Mike, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, you mentioned winter just a moment ago. There's breaking news out of the IOC, by the way, the International Olympic Committee. They just announced here today that they've changed the rules for the next Winter Olympics. By the way, so the next time the Canadians have to put up their women's team against the men's team. Just to make it fair, by the way. That's breaking news out of the International Olympic Committee.
Mallory, cut him off.
Cut him off. His microphone. You've got a bad connection. We got to let you go, Mike.
Hey, have you ever considered what these precedents that Barack Obama is setting? How that would affect, let's say Carl Gallups was running for president.
Yeah, which I'm not.
We'll just use Carl Gallups as the example.
Yeah,
if Carl Gallups running for president, Carl Gallups could use these precedents that are being set by this lawless president.
Okay, so let's say I win the next presidential election, and because of the precedents that this lawless one has created, this renegade, one who throws truth to the ground,
this abomination,
because of the precedents he set, what could I do?
Well, think about now. Let's just have a discussion about this here. Think about the ramifications here. I mean, think about who you could have for vice president. Think about, I don't know, me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
you're Canadian.
The Constitution states that a vice president must the same eligibility standards are held to the vice president's office as the president's office, right?
Right.
So you could actually nominate me for vice president. And people will say, well, he's Canadian. Well, the answer to that, now this is according to the precedent set by Barack Obama. Sit down with a piece of paper and get out my crayons and generate a document that looks like a U.S. Birth certificate, long-form birth certificate.
Put it on the White House website.
And put that up on a website somewhere.
Right.
And people will say, well, wait a minute, that is fraudulent. Precedent set here. Now, this is if Barack Obama is not held accountable for the fraudulent usurpation of the White House. If he's not held accountable for that, he has set the precedent for as long as a birth certificate is put up on a website and claimed to be valid, that is all it takes.
Right.
And people will stand up and say, well, we've looked at it, and it's fake. It's obviously fake. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Barack Obama has set the precedent that Mike Shoesmith can now be vice president based simply on a document scanned to a website. End of story.
Even if they do a 2-year criminal investigation, you can still say it doesn't matter.
Even if your grandmother, even if the ambassador from Canada, even if a British intelligence officer says that you are not a United States citizen.
And they all said that you were from Canada. It wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter. So there's
you guys see how this will work now, right?
Yeah, I do.
You guys are getting you're tracking with me here now.
Okay. What are some other things?
I don't know. You could stand up at a microphone in 2016 and say, we will not change. We are in favor of homosexual marriage.
Right.
Favor of all of that. We have no intention of ever changing that ever. And then one of the first things you do when you get elected is change it all.
Right.
Just change it.
You
just change it all. You ban it completely. You go Putin on it.
Right.
And you look, this is all, we're done with this. We're just changing this.
Right. So I run for office.
I know what I said earlier. We're just going to have to disregard that. I know I said I was in favor of same-sex marriage. Now I'm against it.
Right.
You see, the precedent's been set by the president.
That's right.
The precedent has been set for that type of action.
Well, in fact, what he said is that he had evolved on that topic.
Right. And so that will be your response. Well, listen, I know I said I was in favor of it, but now my position has evolved on it.
Right.
So now we're going to ban it outright.
Yeah, we're going to outlaw it. Yeah.
And now here's the big one. Here's the big one here, though. What you could do is you could just want at any time you want with one implement. What's the implement? A pen. That's all you would need to change any law in existence. Think about the power that's involved with that, because Obamacare is a law.
Right.
He is changing this law, and he's making ad hoc changes as the winds blow.
Right.
Whatever suits him in that day, without seeking any congressional approval at all. He's just changing laws just with the stroke of a pen. Now think about, Carl, what you could do to the tax system in America and transform it into the Neil Bort's fair tax system, 10% across the board. You could do that, Carl, with the stroke of a pen based on the precedent set by Barack Obama.
I think we might have lost him. Are you still there, Mike? Yeah, he's had a bad connection. Maybe he'll slip back up. Mallory, did you
cut Mike off?
Mallory, Mallory's throwing her hands. Mallory just gave us the little devil look. She's saying, "Not me, not me." I think she cut him off. Well, but listen, Brendan, let's just you and I go with this. I see what he's saying because of the precedents he set.
I'm gonna tell you what I was just thinking. Based on the illegal war with Libya that was launched and the almost illegal bombing of
Egypt.
Syria. Where he said that he didn't need Congress's approval.
That's right.
We could bomb Canada next time we get mad that they beat us at an Olympic sport.
Or Mexico the next time an illegal alien comes across the border.
Well, I'm sticking with the Canada analogy.
Yeah.
Because I'm mad at Mike Shoesmith.
I know. In fact, Mallory, I'm glad you cut him off. But Mallory, you can't convince me you didn't cut him off. You got mad at him. I know what you did. She's got the power. She's got the red button on her finger. But no, listen, Mike's analogy is brilliant.
Yes.
Because this is what the elitist liberals are not thinking about, unless, of course, they're planning on holding the office forever and ever and ever. And, if history keeps moving like it has been moving, they will not do that.
Right.
Now, I mean, there's always a chance of a total coup, of the destruction and fall of the United States as we know it. I mean, I understand that. But if history just keeps rolling around, there'll be a time when Republicans are back in control and or conservatives, maybe Tea Party. So we can just take their precedents and change laws and break the Constitution and bring anybody we want in. We can
listen. Think of this.
Yeah.
If you are president and you are truly conservative,
right.
All right, let's just say abortion is your main issue, that you just hate it, you can't stand it, you think it's the destruction of this country.
Right.
You sick the IRS on every abortion clinic, every abortion doctor, every nurse that works in every abortion clinic in the entire country.
Right, and
by the end of the week, you have them all in prison.
Have them all in prison. Get the NSA to wiretap them and spy on them and collect their emails and
spy on them through their webcams. Which, by the way, that was made public this week. That's been going on.
That's been going on. Yeah. We said that, but we were called idiots.
That's right.
We were called tinfoil hats. But this week, it has been announced that the NSA has been spying on people through your webcams.
Yes,
they have been doing it.
Yeah.
And they've been collecting that information, and they said they had a bunch of film footage that was explicitly sexual in nature.
Yeah.
And that's as far as I'm going to go on that over the air on Freedom Friday. But this is in mainstream. Go to Drudge. Drudge has been reporting about it all day today and yesterday.
Yeah. Listen, it was reported, I think just today it hit, that apparently Yahoo users have been hacked, quote, through their webcams, have been spied on by hackers.
Right.
Well, that's probably just code word for we're watching you through your webcams.
Right.
But so this has been going on. Listen, it was one of the TV manufacturers that came out just in the last 6-8 months.
Yes.
Talking about that we can watch you through your TV screen.
They installed technology.
Samsung, Phil, I don't remember which manufacturer.
But I read the articles, and then they came back and said, "Now we only do it just to collect information on consumer activity during our television shows, etc." But wait, you're telling us that you can look at us through the television sets?
Well, we've been crazy for saying that technology was available for probably the last 20 years or better.
Yeah. So, if I become president in 2016, these are the kinds of things that I can do because Barack Obama, the one Messiah, he has said that it's okay.
It's okay. That's right.
Okay.
Well, the precedent has been set.
Right. That's it. Now, Brandon and I are kind of winding down here because it looks like we might have Mike back on. We're going to try it. Let's. You want to take a break, Mallory? Yeah, we need to take a break. My program director's telling me we need to take a break. When we come back, I think we've got Mike back on the line, so we'll bring him back on and promise him that Mallory didn't cut him off. And you're listening to Freedom Friday this afternoon. This is Carl Gallups. Brandon Big B is my co-host this afternoon. Mallory Bardwell, your world famous producer, and Mike Shoesmith. He'll be up next. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.